Hey guys, I'm Ryan Breen and welcome to Breen Basketball. So Steph Curry just had the greatest scoring Game 7 game of all time. He had 50 points in the closeout Game 7 versus the Sacramento Kings, and it was an away game, and the Kings fans are insane. So Steph Curry he single-handedly won them this game. No one else on this team could make a shot. Scoring-wise, he had 50 of the team's 120 points, and there was a point where he was the only person on the team who could score whatsoever. So in the first half, the Kings actually outplayed the Warriors. Steph had 20 first half points, but Sabonis had 16 in the first half, and the Kings honestly looked really good. De'Aaron Fox didn't have a good first half, but it didn't really matter because they were beating the Warriors at halftime. But yeah, the second half was all Warriors. The Kings only scored 42 second half points, and the Warriors scored, I think, 62. Or 64. So it was a huge difference. The third quarter for the Warriors was just insane because of offensive rebounding. Kevon Looney had 21 boards this game and had 10 offensive rebounds, I think. And that's really what won them this game. Is just the fact that they got every single offensive rebound in the third quarter. Every 50-50 ball, every time that the Warriors could get it, they got it back. And that comes down to Kevon Looney, the only other Warrior who had a good game today. Klay Thompson and Wiggins were absolutely abysmal, terrible. Wiggins can't hit a free throw for his life. Klay Thompson missed so many wide-open threes. I swear to God, you could build a church with the amount of bricks he made. And yeah, Draymond just had a game. He was just a dude. Jordan Poole sucked again. Jordan Poole had an absolutely awful series. I honestly hope they don't play him because he's useless. Steph Curry was the only real saving grace in this one. Obviously 50 points, 30 points in the second half. Just absolutely insane. But that's what Steph Curry does. So now the Warriors are going to go and play the Lakers in the second round. So Curry and LeBron match up. And I feel like this is going to be the last Curry versus LeBron matchup ever. So it should be a good one. I personally believe the Warriors will win in 6 or 7 games. I just think the Lakers don't have anything to stop Curry. And I think that the Warriors can slow down the Lakers as much as possible. So I think we need to have a conversation of where Steph Curry ranks all time. Because I feel like after this and last year, I can confidently put him above Magic Johnson on my list. And I honestly think he's a top 5 player of all time. Which I know I might be jumping the gun and it might just be recency bias. But no one ever can do the things Steph Curry can do. Between the floaters, the crazy threes, he's obviously the best shooter of all time. But just the way that he can take over a game and just, if no one else on his team is scoring, he can get double teamed and there were plays where he'd go through these double teams and somehow find a way to shoot and make a heavily, heavily contested three. Or a crazy floater and one. Steph Curry did everything for the Warriors today. He's the only reason they're moving on. And shout out to the Kings because they didn't make the playoffs for 18 years, I think. And to take the defending champions to a Game 7 and be leading at halftime in that Game 7, they have a bright future. De'Aaron Fox, Keegan Murray. Sabonis was the only Kings player who actually had an okay game today, and his second half even was pretty bad. But that team should be good for the next few years. They're obviously missing a bit. I don't know how they get those next pieces. But yeah, if I were the Kings, I would be pretty happy with this season. Finishing as the 3 seed and obviously making it to a Game 7 against the most experienced team in the NBA. That's really impressive. So now I'm going to segue to the other game of the day. It was Knicks versus Heat. So the Heat got this one done in a really, really scrappy battle. The Knicks were just bad in this one, especially in the second half. So the Knicks started off the game incredible. They were attacking the paint. They had 40 first-half points in the paint, and the Heat really couldn't do anything about it. And then in the second half, the Heat packed the paint, and the Knicks were given a bunch of open threes and couldn't make any of them. They shot like 17% from three, I think. The only player who shot even close to decent from three was Obi Toppin, who filled in for Julius because Julius was hurt today. And I mean, Obi played pretty good, but I don't know. No one else could hit threes. Jalen Brunson had an uncharacteristically, that's his own words, he had an uncharacteristically bad game, and I don't think he does this again. RJ started off good and cooled down. So yeah, and quickly it's just been terrible these playoffs. So I don't know what the Knicks do to adapt to this, because missing threes, you can't really adapt to that. It's just a thing that, like, they're going to have to not do in the future games. Because if they miss threes like this, they got so many open looks that Miami was just handing them. And yeah, I don't know. They're going to have to make some adjustments. The big story of the game is Jimmy Butler rolled his ankle with like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and he stayed in the game. He was pretty useless, sort of just limping around, standing there. But I think the fact that he stayed in is a good sign, because he was putting some weight on it. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's going to miss game 2, because he did not look great out there. But I don't know. He's not too injured. I think he'll be back at some point. But that's obviously a big thing for the Knicks, because Jimmy's the only reason that they're in this series in the first place. So if Jimmy's not there, it should be a free win. But yeah, shout out to the Heat for winning this one. The Knicks are going to be better in the next game. Obviously, they were missing Julius Randle, who's a really big piece for them. So with him there, I think that they win. And yeah, shout out Steph Curry, because 50 in a Game 7 is insane. Shout out the Warriors. And Knicks, do better. All right, see y'all. Bye. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.